9 seats, over 30 candidates, and just hours before some races for Charleston County School District will be decided. And how fitting, I get tossed too, and there's a bunch of wind coming at my back, but that's not what I want to talk to you about today. Just going to step out very quickly, and we're going to zoom in here. Cafe Pavilion, Market Street right here, sandbags up to about a third of the way. Let me step out and show you the extent of the damage. Windows boarded up from floor to ceiling here at House of Brews. With the new path, there was no holding back for Allie and her art. There's a good chance you've seen her murals, like this one, on Rivers Avenue in North Charleston. It's not unusual to see right whales in our area as they migrate, but when a humpback whale showed up in St. Catherine Sound off of the coast of Georgia, it was a pretty incredible and very rare sight. Patty Turner tells us that sighting wasn't the only reason the day was so special. First at 11, jurors have reached a verdict in Russell Lafitte's federal trial. Lafitte is guilty on all 6 counts of financial crimes. He is accused of working alongside disbarred attorney Alec Murdoch to scheme millions of dollars from his clients. News 2's Riley Benson is live there now. Riley, jurors deliberated for about 10 hours today. She's looking at me with her beautiful brown eyes. I hear she's a lover, not a fighter. The 4-year-old little hound dog is stealing my heart already. Recently is some of this debris coming down. Not too much of it. Don't be alarmed by it. The Charleston Police Department says that multiple complaints from neighbors about street-level drug dealing started the investigation. The community says that the arrests are a step in the right direction, but more needs to be done by neighbors. 9 men are facing drug distribution charges.
It has a ripple effect in our community. It just tears families apart.
After Charleston police arrested them for allegedly dealing crack cocaine and heroin. Members of the community, like Pastor Matthew Rivers, are feeling safer after CPD's actions.
People do feel safer when they get folks on the street who are selling drugs, specifically crack cocaine and any dangerous drugs that's going to cause health issues.
Police say deals would take place across the east side, but pointed out Mall Playground as a specific area of concern.
The citizens over there shouldn't, they're bringing their children to play basketball at Mall Park. They shouldn't have to be looking at drug deals going down on the corner.
Taking these alleged distributors off of the streets is a way to decrease the sale of drugs and overdoses.
We've seen an increase in overdoses in that area of town this year and last, for that matter.
While CPD says that the investigation is ongoing, Pastor Rivers wants the community to come together and find their next step for progress during National Night Out next week.
I hope that we can formulate some ideas and not just have a show, but actually formulate some ideas on how do we as a community get together and continue to press forward cleaning up our community of drugs.
7 of the 9 men arrested for allegedly dealing drugs live right here on the east side. Reporting in Charleston, I'm Forrest Tucker. Count on 2. A paintbrush is Allison Dunavant's best friend.
I used to love doing portraits.
Art has been a hobby for most of her life.
I was going to do something more stable and normal.
Dunavant was working as a bank teller until
I randomly quit my job during my lunch break. I would always sit at my desk and look out the window and just literally want to be outside.
With the new path, there was no holding back for Allie and her art. There's a good chance you've seen her murals, like this one, on Rivers Avenue in North Charleston.
A lot of times I'm in shock that this is what I get to do every day, that this is my actual job. We're doing, a mural, at least a mural per week, and that there's a demand for it is amazing.
Allie has been using the Low Country as her canvas, from Park Circle to Shem Creek. Painting murals has brought her closer to the community.
Every time you're out painting, it's a very public type thing. So people are coming up, talking to you, you're getting to know different people.
And given her a business partner, Christine Crawford, another muralist. The pair's business is known as Girls Who Paint Murals. While they're making a name for themselves, they're also a rarity in the industry.
I think it's a very male-dominated business, and I think that's kind of where we stand out. I'm so happy to see, when a female artist comes through.
We're on construction sites, we're on equipment, we're going in paint stores, we're doing that kind of thing, we're up on ladders.
Painting murals for them is about showing women that they can follow their dreams.
If you don't take a risk, what is life? And I mean, even if you fail, it's always a learning curve of trying to get back up and going again. So I think being a muralist is huge for us women.
Just like Allie did.
No matter what the art actual medium is, I think women should recognize that it is something that they can do full time.
In North Charleston, I'm Forrest Tucker. Count on 2. Good Saturday morning, everyone. Thank you so much for starting your day and your weekend off with us. I'm Forrest Tucker. Storm Team 2 meteorologist Grace Lau is standing by in the Weather Center this morning. And Grace, we are just above freezing right now. It is so chilly outside. First this morning, people in Memphis, Tennessee and the nation are in shock and horror after the release of a video that shows 5 officers appearing to beat a man after a police stop. Video of what happened between the officers and a man named Tyree Nichols is graphic and disturbing. A warning that this may not be appropriate for some viewers. The 29-year-old Nichols died 3 days after the incident. The 5 officers who were tied to the assault were fired shortly after and charged with second-degree murder. Following the video release, groups of protesters began gathering in cities across the country to protest Nichols' death. The death of Tyree Nichols has gotten the attention of officials in Washington. President Joe Biden, who spoke directly with Nichols' mother and stepfather on Friday afternoon, is demanding that lawmakers take another look at federal police reform. Raquel Martin has more from our nation's capital. Turning our attention to the Low Country with this story now. Local police officials in our area, as well as across the country, are responding to the video. North Charleston Police Chief Reggie Burgess released a statement last night saying in part, quote, "As the chief of police and a law enforcement professional, I am disturbed by the actions of those officers of the Memphis Police Department," end quote. Charleston County Sheriff Christian Graziano also released a statement saying in part, quote, "The excessive use of force and lack of intervention by these police officers are deeply troubling, upsetting, and unprofessional," end quote. We have full statements from both Chief Burgess and Sheriff Graziano on our website. That's counton2.com. Charleston Police Chief Luther Reynolds had a chance to talk about the situation in Memphis. News 2's Kevon Dupree spoke with him and has the story. Thank you, Kevon. The state of Georgia is under a 15-day state of emergency declared by Governor Brian Kemp after a deadly shooting involving a protester who is opposed to a potential training facility for police in Atlanta. Police say a protester shot at state troopers last week. Then troopers returned gunfire, killing the protester. Georgia State Patrol removed protesters from the site last Saturday. Governor Kemp has requested 1,000 National Guard troops to be on standby as a precaution. Now we turn to the double murder trial of disbarred South Carolina attorney Alec Murdaugh, who is accused of killing his wife and youngest son in June of 2021. The first full week of proceedings has officially wrapped up. After opening statements, 10 witnesses have taken the stand so far. They spoke about emotional moments and graphic details from the night of the murders. News 2's Riley Benson was in court on Friday and tells us what happened. Happening today, the 18th ranked College of Charleston men's basketball team has a stellar chance for another big win to extend their winning streak to 21 games. It's the longest in the nation right now at 20. We've had some nail-biters in the past, but CFC has been scoring like it's going out of style, winning their last 3 games by an average of 23 points. Next up is Hofstra at the TD Arena. Tip-off is at 4 p.m. You may have heard about it last weekend. Bunch of guys in white tuxedos running around Sullivan's Island, celebrating the new year. Does that ring a bell? Well, if it doesn't, for over 2 decades, there's been a special reason for this fashion statement. News 2's Brendan Clark tells us why. In case you missed it, Joint Base Charleston participated in a C-17 flyover over the Ravenel Bridge on Thursday. It was called Operation Ravenel Fury. What a cool name. News 2's Raymond Owens was on one of those planes and spoke with military leaders about why they made these flights. All right, thank you so much for joining us for News 2 today. We have a last quick check of your weather with Storm Team 2 meteorologist Grace Lau. Grace, rain today. Tell us when. All right, grab the rain jacket, grab the umbrella, and thank you for joining us.